take my own experience of how digital technology has impacted the way we live. For example, I had to go on a 2-week travel outside, outstation. It was actually a ride from Manali to Srinagar. It was a long plan, drive what we planned, and planning went for more than a year. And it happened that my wife's birthday, fell in that duration, and the stretch I was traveling, didn't have any signal or no electricity supply. So you could imagine, just even if I had to wish my wife on her birthday, it was practically impossible for me to know. I was not sure that I'll have a signal or electricity, to actually call and wish her. So what is the alternate I could do? I just had option to order a flower online, a bouquet being delivered on her birthday along with a cake. It made a big difference. Even though I was not present there, it made an impact. So when I came home after 2 weeks, it was a sweet surprise. I didn't have harsh environment to face. So I'm saying a simple thing, as simple as making our own wishes. It makes a big difference. And today it's possible. We could not have thought about this 5 years or 10 years back. Going on a long travel and able to do something. That too, ordering a flower from your florist who is locally here present in Bangalore, making him deliver it when I'm not present locally, when I've been off. So these are all the practical possibilities. A small example I said, how technology could make a difference in the way we live. And today, the technology or organization who had embarked upon this digital journey, it's not that the journey has been smooth. They had come across a lot of obstacles. Can you just visualize or narrate any kind of obstacle you have seen in the digital journey? For example, Aadhaar was a very big initiative, right? Digital initiative of collecting all our identity database together in a central repository. So we could see a lot of challenges in ensuring that it's secure, giving us the confidence that the data has been still secure. Likewise, we could narrate a number of examples. Recent one being Google Plus. You would have heard about the news of Google Plus, right? Google being a very big techno, there could have we know other organization in the world, as big as Google, the kind of technology they have, the kind of manpower. Still, they go through this. They had a data breach and they had to shut down a major service, which was supposed to compete with Facebook, right? A very big challenge what they plan to bring out to Facebook today. The service is no more. They had to discontinue the service for a simple reason. They had a data breach. Their customers who had given them the detail and registered themselves with, Google was not able to protect the data. Those data were taken away and it was breached, due to which they had to discontinue service, a very big business model. So imagine the situation of a very big technical giant who is there in the industry. Even if his condition is of this sort, you could imagine any other person who is trying to embark upon the digital journey, what is the kind of condition they could be. So today the trend is, if someone decides to take away data, decide to go for data breach, definitely he could. That's what is the condition. You could also relate back in industry, any event that happened sometime back. We all could remember the Sony breach, right? You would have heard about it. So Sony had made a movie and now they are about to release. Sony Entertainment Division had made a movie. Before they could release it, hackers were able to take them out and then release it on the net. So that is a condition of very big technology. I am just giving an example, very well known, which all of us could relate to. So the situation is that even though technology is available, today the way things are going, breaches are happening left, right, center. So why is this happening? What is the root cause, or what is the reason that even very big companies with all the technology, all the manpower in them, what is the reason they are not able to secure their own data? In case of Sony, it was a GBs of data. It was a movie file which went out. So the kind of technology we have, does it that it's not able to detect even such a data breach that's happening? So that's not the case today. The ground reality, it doesn't let you identify something that is wrong that is going on and take a preventive action. So that's the ground reality, and this is hampering the digital journey in a very big way. So very big digital initiatives that are taken up really are not successful. The statistics says less than 26% of the projects that are taken up really succeeds. So nearly 74% of the projects they are a failure for the simple reason people are not able to secure the data or whatever technology initiative they are taking. Another example I could narrate, in Bangalore this happened. A very big retailer who has a chain of showrooms selling consumer products, he decided to go online. Seeing the e-commerce success, they too wanted to take their showrooms online and then compete in the e-com space. So they went ahead, they had a quick application which was written, and then they were able to bring up, open up store on open up their shop on the internet. But no time the website was compromised, they had to take back their application. A very big organization which had all the money power in it had to roll out an initiative which they took, which could have taken their business to a next stage. They had to roll back and then redo or find ways to do business the way they are doing traditionally. For a simple reason, they are now able to protect the data which there was online. So that's ground reality. These are all not connoted stories or theoretical thread that I am talking about. These are all ground realities which is happening in and around. So what could help? Actually, if people take up this security transformation, if this accompanies the digital transformation, then today we could ensure that the digital journey what companies are embarking could be successful. So what is this digital transformation that we are talking about? So primarily it is to ensure there is a uniform level of security. If organization is going for security controls and measures, the controls are able to give an uniform level of protection across the organization, just not in bits and pieces, or the controls shouldn't just exist in silos. So typically what organizations are doing is, wherever they had an internet connectivity, people used to call it as a perimeter. That's where they were trying to secure. They are putting all the security controls there at the perimeter, and they were thinking that the data which the attacks is going to come from the internet, and they were just giving protection at the internet, at the layer where the internet connectivity was happening. So this was a major flaw. For example, the design of Sony network was very flat, wherein they had protection, all kind of protection at the perimeter, and in the internal network they thought that the data will be safe, which was not the case. The data actually went out from the internal network, right? So that is the case. So today, if you have to enforce security or protect even this challenging environment, you need to have security which is accompanying any kind of digital initiative that is going ahead. So Fortinet as a company has come out with a framework to give a protection. This is what we call as Fortinet Security Fabric Framework, which is nothing but approaching security in such a way that the security controls are broad enough. They give a complete coverage. Wherever customers' data, digital resources are residing, you give a complete coverage. You don't leave out. For example, today people embark upon cloud as a technology in a big way. So they decide, when I have to bring up a service and application in my own environment, it's a very big challenge. I need to just procure resources for it, buy an hardware. If you have to go online, buy a separate internet connectivity. If you have to launch an application which has to be on the net, do a domain registration. So this all takes time. And typically it used to take somewhere between 3 to 6 months to launch a service. That used to be the timeline. But today, with the invent of cloud technology, customers are able to go online and get their services up and running within hours, if not days. So that is a kind of difference what cloud has brought in. So seeing the advantage, customers have started adapting in a very big way. So definitely there's no doubt cloud gives a very agile way of bringing up your services in a very quick way. That's that. But at the same time, it should not be making a mistake that whatever security that you had in-house when your applications were running in-house, the same kind of security controls are there available on the cloud. So typical assumption is, when I move my application from my on-prem data center to cloud, the cloud service provider should give all kind of security, or he should take care of the security. That is the assumption of customers when they move to cloud. But actually what happens in practical is, cloud service provider will take care of his own infra. He will see to that the cloud infra doesn't go down. He will take care of the availability of the service that's available in cloud, but he won't get into the integrities of your application, what you are going to run in. So the application level security has to be enforced by the customer. So typically customers don't see this before they embark upon. Only when they go to the cloud and see a couple of incidents and breaches, then they realize, okay, there's a distinction where the service provider will stop and beyond which he has to take that. It's called shared security model. That is a model that's available on the cloud. So whoever is embarking upon cloud, be very clear. What is the level of service IS service provider will provide, and what is that you have to take care of your own. So this is where we feel, wherever the data resides, even if you are moving to cloud, you should ensure the same kind of controls which are there to give protection when you have the data within your organization should be there. Same kind of control should be replicated. Same way, wherever the data resides, if it's in a web application or in an email or in access, wherever the data resides, you should have uniform level of security control, and this control should give a clear visibility, same level of visibility. So if you had specific control, for example, you had a mail service within your organization, you are able to track each and individual mail that was sent and received. You are able to see who sent a mail to whom, what was the attachment in it, what was the size of the mail. You had a clear-cut control. tomorrow you decide to move your mail application to the cloud. So there too you should have the same level of visibility. That way, if you want to track a mail, you should be able to do that. Since that you are moving your application from in-house to cloud, it doesn't mean that you have to compromise on the level of visibility that you had in your IT infra. So that is the idea. So the security fabric framework talks about having a broad coverage to the complete infra that you have all of them integrated, and then approach in an automated fashion. So we'll just see how this is. So typically today, if you look at the data, could be in multiple places. It could be in a data center. It could be in infrastructure as a service cloud, a public cloud. There are multiple variants. You could have SaaS model, software as a service model, or you could have a private cloud. So multiple variants. So today data could reside in any of these form factors. It could reside anywhere. So wherever it resides, whatever security controls and measures that you look at should be uniform across these areas. So that's what when we say broad, it should cover all these different form factors and locations. You should have the same level of security. Whichever is the technology you adopt, you should ensure that enough security controls are there in place. And in spite of having them in multiple locations, you should see to that they are all integrated. For example, the example of Sony that I gave, what happened? They had very good controls of the perimeter, but internally they didn't have the same level of visibility. If a data is being sent out or received from perimeter, like through an email or a file transfer, probably Sony had a mechanism to see what is the volume of data, what is the data that is going out. But internally, when someone is copying the data from the systems where the actual data is residing, they didn't have the same visibility. If they would have had it, they would have observed that there's some abnormality. Suddenly, a huge amount of data is getting copied, and someone would have been able to take an action on it. But it was not the case. They didn't have the visibility of the same level what they had in the perimeter. So in the internal network was not to the same level of So if they would have integrated the internal network and the security controls what they had in the internal network to a centralized console, and then they were able to see or get the same kind of visibility, they would have clearly they would have averted that incident from happening. So that's what we emphasize when we talk about integration. So this integration need not be that all these technologies should be from the same vendor. You could have gone for security controls. For example, perimeter protection could be from a vendor A. Your internal protection could be from vendor B. Your application could be protected by another vendor C. Even though you have products and technologies from different vendors, all these products should be tied together so that they act in an integrated fashion. For example, there is an abnormality observed in the laptop of a user. That particular abnormality should be observed by the central console, and that should ensure that rest all controls are all taken care of. For example, there's a new malware that is detected in a desktop. That malware pattern should be identified by a technology that you have in the network. For example, today there's a technology called sandboxing, where you could execute this malware in a separate isolated environment, make out what that pattern is. Once you know what that pattern is, that pattern could be replicated across all other technologies. It could be like perimeter, it could be application server. So the same kind of threat that you're seeing in the desktop, it could also spread across multiple medium. First, when it comes up in the desktop, if someone is detecting and blocking it. So second time, the attacker will try to put it across through an application server and try to take the data out. So if you are able to detect that pattern at one particular vector, you should be able to replicate the pattern and then give a protection to rest all components in the network. That is the idea of integration. And last is, it should have an automated mechanism wherein if there is a abnormality found, the response should be in an automated manner. So for example, there is an event happening at 9 or 10 in the night. You can't wait for the engineer to come in the next day and take a remedial action. As and when an incident is observed, there should be a mechanism to take an automated remedial action. It could be from the security angle, or today you have services like auto scaling, which could scale the service or increase the capacity in a service as and when needed. For example, you would have seen those days when a result is published, be it in a university or any kind of result. Suddenly, the entire server goes for a toss. Servers become unresponsive. What happens is all of them try to access the same data at the same point of time. The server is designed for a specific capacity. It's not able to scale, and then it goes down. The service, there's a downtime of the service. But today's technology like auto scaling, what it could really enable you is, based on the requirement dynamically, you could increase the capacity. For example, the typical server sizing that was done was for 1,000 users concurrent access. But suddenly, there is a small sale announced or a result being published. You suddenly expect 10,000 users accessing the same resource. A server which was designed for 1,000 users could not cater to the request of 10,000 users. So what this technology of auto scaling could do is, it could immediately provision additional 10 more servers on the fly Today technology is available which could do that and cater to that load. Maybe that load is there only for a couple of hours. After that, it's not needed. So once the traffic goes off, automatically all the additional 10 servers could be shut down, and then you could resume serving your service using a single server. So these are the technologies today that's available, which could automatically give you an additional, ensure your availability or uptime by catering to additional loads. So these are the technologies and the approaches we say. The security control should give you a broad coverage of security control. It should be able to work in an integrated fashion, and it should be able to respond to events in a real time in an automated manner. So these are the three approaches what we say will help organization today secure themselves in an effective manner. So today Fortinet as a company, we have security solutions across all these industries, be it requirements at the infrastructure side, at the network layer, at the cloud or IoT. We have a security solution spread across all these areas, and we typically categorize into these 8 different categories. So first and foremost is the network security. So this is the primary part wherein whenever there is a connectivity from an internal secure network to an unsecure network, you should have a perimeter defined wherein all the policies are there. Traffic, what is allowed into the organization, what is going out, all of them should be controlled properly. And you should have, so we have a solution called FortiGate, which can be deployed as a network perimeter, which gives a complete visibility, which has multiple functions, like it has an intrusion prevention system inbuilt, it has secure web gateway, and it could do SD-WAN. So SD-WAN is a new evolving technology wherein if you want to make use of WAN in an optimal way, then this SD-WAN is a solution that will help you do that. Meaning the WAN side, earlier people used to go for MPLS, which was a costly proportion. Today internet is available and multiple options in internet is there. You could have a lease line, broadband, 3G, 4G. All of them gives a decent amount of stable connections today. So instead of just going for MPLS and multiple MPLS today, you could make use of this internet technology, which could be a very economical way of giving connectivity. At the same time, when you enable this SD-WAN with the secure technology like our FortiGate, which is at the network security, you'll be able to ensure security plus enable WAN optimization or optimally use the WAN links, multiple of them, dynamically manage them. That is the idea of SD-WAN. So we have multiple technologies. Today, if you move a data to cloud, we have multi-cloud security wherein wherever your data is, be it in AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, IBM, Oracle, whichever is the cloud platform you would like to adopt, the same kind of technology, the firewalling which I said, this is a core component with IPS, secure web gateway, SD-WAN, the same technology could be also replicated in the cloud. It's not that since you have an appliance, data center which gave you all the services, when you move a service to cloud, it's not that you should let your application run without security. You could move the same kind of controls to the cloud. So today the same security service offering is available in the cloud form factor, be it private cloud or public cloud. Then if your data is there at the endpoint on your desktops, laptops, you could just secure them and get a better visibility. If your data is primarily handled through email, for example, the recent ransomware attack which happened last year, most of them spread through emails. The primary distribution mechanism was email. And lot many organizations were impacted, be it in airlines, banking system, hospitals. We are seeing a lot of them who are dependent on IT having an outage, having a major impact. The simple reason they are not protected their messaging, mailing traffic enough. Messaging is a service which has been there for a long, it's a pretty mature technology, but still we could see hackers, they are able to distribute the new malware using the traditional methods. So even if it's a mail traffic that is there, we can't take it lightly. It also need to be protected enough. Then the web application, which predominantly deliver web services, we have technology to give protection for web services. We have security for the access layer, be it Wi-Fi or connected, a switching level. You could have a secure switching and a secure access point, which gives the same visibility. It's able to integrate to your central ecosystem and then take a remedial action if there is an urgent need for it. And we have advanced threat protection, the sandboxing solution that I had, which could inspect new kind of malware. For example, people today could write a malware specific to your organization. They know that there is a very important data with you and they want to take it. The traditional technology could give a protection only if there is a predefined signature. If that particular malware is known earlier, it will be able to give a protection. But if someone has written a malware targeting your organization, then it's not a targeted attack, where a traditional technology won't work. That's where the sandbox could really add value, wherein it will be able to execute those kind of data in a separate isolated environment, develop a signature if it is malicious, and then distribute, give a protection. Meaning you get a real-time signature development within the organization if you have a sandboxing in the network. And all these technologies could be clubbed together managed in a seamless method using the management analytics solution that we have. So that's the idea of security fabric. Now have security controls across all the areas where your data could reside and then manage them in a seamless way. And this technology, what I talked about, all is pretty well endorsed by third party. There are a lot many organizations, which do rating, recognition of the product technology, and then they are pretty well rated as both in the UTM segment, where we have multifunction security device, as well as the enterprise security, where next generation firewalling is the core component. So this technology that I am talking about is pretty well recognized in the industry, adopted by the industry, and used well, and we lead in this space. And this Fortinet security fabric framework, what I talked about, is something not only Fortinet is propagating. There are multiple other industry players who are already participating in it. Meaning, if you have solutions from any of these vendors, they will out of the box operate with Fortinet solution. For example, I was talking about there is a web application firewall which could give protection for your web services or your web servers. So there is a tool called Qualys Guard which can do a web security scan on the web servers and give you the weaknesses. What are the weaknesses present in a web server? So this report from a Qualys Guard could be taken and then taken as an input to our web application firewall, which will design a policy specific to the weaknesses found. So you not manually sit down and write a policy, which is the biggest challenge, when you want to protect the application server. So this kind of integration is what I'm talking about. So these are all technologies which could work with each other in an automated fashion and then help you improve the security posture of the organization as a total. And just I would like to finish this presentation with a small innovative product that we had. So we are hearing about autonomous cars or driverless vehicles, right? That's the trend today. In fact, last week I was in Kerala for a cybersecurity event named Cocoon, where there was a demo of autonomous car. Someone in TCS has designed an automated control system for a Nano, which he demonstrated in that Cocoon event. It was pretty well demonstrated, where the car was driven with no driver. There are passengers in it, but no one in the driver's seat. It maneuvered around. It was able to move around, and then it was pretty well demonstrated. One of the concerns was what happens if someone is able to hack, and this has been pretty well time and again demonstrated. Automatic cars, which are there in the industry, they have been controlled, meaning the steering system, braking system, and other mechanisms have been controlled externally by hackers. They pretty well demonstrated this. If you're following the news, you would have known this. So what in Fortinet, what we decided is even this kind of technology innovations and digital transformation needs security in place. So what we did is we came out with a security module which will segment the network within the vehicle too. So within the vehicle, there are two different types of IT system. One is for the entertainment system, the audio system, which today has a connectivity to internet to get updates. As well, you have critical controls like controls which control the steering system and braking system. So earlier these were all together. They were using the same data plane inside. So what Fortinet did is we came out with a security module which will segment this, will separate the critical functions from the non-critical functions, so that even if the entertainment system which has connectivity to internet is compromised, that particular compromise or breach could not be used to take control of your critical controls. So this is one of the small example I want to reiterate. So Fortinet keeps we follow the trend and then we ensure that the security control, whatever is needed for the industry, whatever the new technology that's evolving, is there in place. So our digital network segmentation, what we had traditionally in our firewall, we are able to port that under secure even today's technology. So with this, I would like to conclude my presentation, whereby all the digital initiatives what we are taking up really good, but we should have security controls in place so that they are all succeeding. Thanks for your time and thanks for your patience. Yeah. Thank you.